How to get out of victimhood? Well, there's a bunch of ways, right, that I've kind of tried to get out, and I still do fall into bad habits, but it's not about being perfect. It's about to doing 1%, 2% every day to get there, be better, glow. Anyway, um, first thing that I've done, and it's worked for me, is trying not to listen to sad music so much. I feel like sad music can sometimes make you romanticize your sadness, and sometimes it can be very um nostalgic in a way, because whenever we were going through these things or whatever, we resulted to these songs and we wanted to indulge in them because we felt understood by that song and all these things. But whenever you listen to that and you're not at that place no more, it just brings you back those feelings all around, and you just get nostalgic about a bad time in your life, and that doesn't help. So I would say kind of get a new playlist. Listen to something more upbeat. Listen to gospel. I do that. I know a lot of people may not agree with that, but it's really good, and it's really changed my perspective. Gospel is not all I listen to. I still listen to a lot of secular music, but I've definitely tried to be more um try to listen to music with more intent. And sometimes I do listen to sad music, but I feel like if you're not at a point where you can compartmentalize, my video cut off the sound, so I'm recording this again. Can't compartmentalize um what you're listening to, right? If you can't just listen to something to vibe to it, and you're listening to feel something or go back to a bad time in your life, then you probably shouldn't be listening to that. Um Another thing I want to talk about is stop using your trauma as a topic of conversation to make something more interesting or flaunting about your trauma. That is not going to give you anything. And when I was in high school, and it would be like the pain Olympics. Like, they would just be talking about, oh, my dad is in jail. Oh, my mom beat my dad up. And I was like, okay, your trauma is something that it's very sad that happened to you, and it's not something to brag about. This is not about who suffered more. That is not cute, and that's probably why you're still in that place. Your trauma is something that should be processed and let go of. It's not something that you make a topic of conversation every time to be more interesting, to look more cool. I don't think that is the way to do it, and I think a lot of young people do that. So stop making your trauma the highlight of your life, because that is something that you didn't even do yourself. It's something that just happened. So actually do something good and brag about that, because your trauma is something personal that you went through that hurt you, that is not a topic of conversation for everyone. And don't be mad when people bring it up if you told them for this reason, because it's actually sad, right? So, yeah, think about that for a second. Oh, also, I thought about this one, which is very important, and is to identify what triggers you to want to be a victim, right? Or just what reacts that feeling, or like provokes, right? That feeling. So, like, let's say, oh, this is a very good one. Sometimes we want to trauma bond with people so much that we tell our trauma to anyone that we just met 2 seconds ago, just to kind of bond with them and feel understood. And in reality, they probably only broke their knee in their entire life, and you're over here saying, "Oh my god, my boyfriend did this and that to me, and now I can't trust people," and they don't care. And then when this lady comes back at you telling you, "Oh, so how are you?" and you're like, "What are you reminding me of that?" Well, you told them. Like, you need to know who you tell things to and realize that you don't have to always talk. This is something that happens to me a lot, and I used to struggle with, and I probably still do sometimes, but it's you don't have to tell everyone everything, good or bad. You can just be silent, and silent does speak louder than words. And if you are asked something, then you can talk. But if you don't have to drop all your baggage in someone, because half of the time that is very annoying to deal with. That person is probably kind of, having a cloudy day or a busy day or thinking about something. You just drop all this, you're just going to make them think more. So realize how that can also affect people, you dropping so much baggage on someone. Again, something that I might have done a lot of times, on people that I love and people that I don't know. So if you have to get something out, journal it. Journal it, write it down, make a video, do whatever you gotta do. But don't do that because that is not the best thing to do and it's gonna bite you in the end. So, yeah. That leads to my next point. Surround yourself with people that are better than that. And the way that I got out of a lot of my victimhood and my mental rotting was by working with old people. Old people are just people that were older than me because I realized how much other stuff, bad stuff is out there that I didn't go through, and I'm over here marinating in the fact that I was misunderstood by my parents, or that a boy didn't like me, and then I go over here and Brenda's telling me that her son doesn't have one leg, and then she doesn't know how she's gonna make it this month. You know, it really put things into perspective, and it makes you realize that you are just a brat, you know? So rethink your life. And I'm not just saying that, right? Everybody to each their own, and each problem weights differently for each person, no matter how little or small, because that is your problem at the end of the day, and it's gonna weigh probably the same as Brenda's problem. So I'm not trying to downgrade your problem. I'm just trying to give you a open mind or a better perspective of things to get yourself out of there, because that's what you can do, you know? And also learning from their mistakes. A lot of old people have a lot to say, and they've lived a lot, and they've been through a lot. They've suffered, they've been sad, happy, all of these things, and they like to talk, and they like to advise you. So take that advice and pay it forward and be good for yourself, because that's very important. Cooking this pork chop. I don't know if that's that. I've been so into pork chops lately. They're so good. I'm gonna show you guys my plate when I'm done. Also, another thing I would say is try to look for help. Third thing I would say is to find help. I know not everybody has money to go to therapy or anything like that, but the reality of it is that we live in 2025 and everything is at our hands. So maybe go on YouTube and find a community that dealt with that, and it's just trying to get out of that rot. And yeah, and realize that what you're going through, it's, you know, validate your own feelings. Nobody has to tell you that what you've been through is true, because you went through it, so you know that what you're feeling is valid. But nurturing that feeling and marinating in it, it's wrong. So maybe, you know, look for people that have been through it and people that are doing better. Also, maybe rethink what you consume. This probably goes back to the music aspect of it that I talked about, but just like who you're following. Are you comparing to people that look happy and you don't even know half of their life? Like, look at your Instagram. Do you look sad on your Instagram, or do you look happy and then you know that you're sad? So just look at things from a different perspective, and also try to be more positive every day. You know, like, look at it like this. I used to be the person that I'm just focusing in all the bad and all the bad and all the bad and whatever. And when good things happen, I would still be there. But use these really bad times on your life for you to appreciate the good and not still be in the bad when the good comes, you know, because a lot of people do that. And just appreciate the small wins, and moving is just better than being stagnant. So just, you know, just be better. Going back to trauma bonding situation, if you're doing it right, not just to look cool, but you're doing it more from a I want to feel understood, and you know, like I'm not alone, from a sense of belonging, I guess, then that's okay. But maybe you should look for better ways to do it, like finding groups that are going through the same thing and they're collectively talking about the issue to get out of it, not to indulge in it. You know what I mean? And I guess ways to identify this would be that if you're doing it just because you have a sense of belonging, or because, oh, also, whenever you start a conversation with, I don't know why I'm telling you this, I've never told this to anybody. That should be the first red flag, that you should not be talking about that, because you wouldn't say that to the person that you need to say it to. Also, take care of yourself. Go to the gym. Um, feed yourself better food, take vitamins, read books that will help you with what you're struggling, learn new things, shift your focus to other than your problems, take care of others around you, ask how they're doing, be nicer to your parents, right? If you want to, I don't know if they were part of your trauma, or if not, forgive them, learn to forgive, let go, because at the end of the day, that's what's going to heal you the most. You don't have to forget, but you can forgive. There's things that are so traumatic that they're always going to be on your system. It's just normal. But that's when you take back all you learn and remind yourself that you're okay. We're going to move forward, right? It's a lot. It's not something that you can make change, in a matter of an hour or even a day sometimes, but it's about beginning. And every time you feel like you want to indulge or like live in that trauma, shift your focus really fast. Find something to watch. Let's say that trauma gives you anxiety attacks, or it gives you panic attacks, or whatever, or it's going to give you in a spiral in your head. Shift your focus. Consume something that's going to calm you down rather than put you back in there. So like there's a lot of videos for I'm having a panic attack, what do I do? I've used that many times. Or like I'm having an anxiety attack, I'm having an OCD attack, what do I do? All of these things. Also, stop owning your trauma so much. Sometimes telling your brain, I have OCD, I have anxiety, I have depression, will keep your brain in that state because you're owning it. Maybe everything you say, your brain listens. It's kind of like when you say something and your phone puts it on you. And you're like, oh my God, my phone is listening. Your brain is also the same way. So try to tell your brains nice things, pretty things. Be nice to you, because at the end of the day, no one can make you feel anything, and you can make yourself feel anything you want. So if you want to feel happy in a bad situation, you can, but it takes training and it takes effort and accountability and self-awareness and all these things, but you have to start somewhere. I don't know. Journal. If you think these things, it's okay if you do, because you can't control what you think, right? But you can control what you do after that thought. So journal all of these bad thoughts out. Talk to God. Read the Bible too. I'm sorry I didn't say that. Read the Bible and talk to God, and a lot of the things in your life will align and will make sense on why they happened, because a lot of things happen for a reason, most of them. And it's probably because God is trying to draw you closer to him or something like that. So read the Bible, journal, look at podcasts that are, God-based. That helped me a lot with my anxiety and a lot of things. And I look back on the trajectory of my life, and I understood that a bunch of things that happened in my life needed to happen for me to be this person that I am now and help others. And it makes me feel so much better. And it is better because it's the truth. So yeah, it's not the easiest thing. And I just want to give you grace if you are taking steps, because that's okay. You're starting, and you may not feel better tomorrow, but you're starting and you're fine. And remember, progress is gonna look like this, but you're still going up, and you can't expect something to change right by tomorrow by yourself. You have to trust God. So pray for a change. Pray for your Holy Spirit to help you and, stay in alignment with you so you can get there quicker. Trust God. That's so important too. Like, trust God, because he hears you and he knows what you're struggling. A lot of the things he puts you through them so you can, wake up and follow him. So pray for him, acknowledge him, make him a part of your day. Wake up early, read your Bible, read a book. Put your phone down. Your phone is so toxic, and I can't say that enough. Like, forget about feeling the urge to post, to look cool, to all of these things. Like, that does not matter. It doesn't, and I still fall into it sometimes, and I did for a while, having to please everyone else but God. Once you stop doing that, you'll be good, and you'll get out of victimhood, which is the point of this video. I think this is going to be the end of this video. I will probably think of more random things, and if you guys appreciate this video, I can do a part 2, but right now I think that's it. I actually love these little talking videos because I feel like I do have a lot to say. So, yeah, until next time. Bye.